I thought maybe it'd be a lot more physical than a chess match.
Oh, chess can be physical. You didn't watch Bobby Fischer? He's still missing.
Well, stretch bigs will try to put shot blockers, away from the basket. And then when you get those shot blockers away, you get drives to the rim. So the power bigs, they try to throw their weight around on the blocks, but overall, the stretch bigs separate the floor.
I think it's time to tip this thing off. Kevin Harlan has the call, and we'll see you later.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Shooting guard at 6'6". Number 14, Dan Reed. Right in the middle at 7'0". Number 16, Al Hassan. 6'2" Calvin Brooks. Number
Welcome, everyone, to NBA Basketball here on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's Noche NBA, a celebration of the amazing Latin culture in this league and its fans all around the globe. A great tradition we get to enjoy. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. Western Conference battles, always fun. This time it's the San Antonio Spurs intent on protecting home court. It's a victory here for the home team last time these guys met. That win brought the season series level at 1-1.
In the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnover.
It was definitely that defense that carried them to that huge win that night. You have to figure they'll be primed to wreak even more havoc here in this one.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So for New Orleans right now, the bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Tony Allen is out there with the doctor, and it's Miller in the small forward position. They recover it. Now the feed to Cousins. We're toward the end of the year now. Some clear playoff teams need to choose between playing injured starters, maybe earning a higher seed, or Brent, more importantly perhaps, resting up and being truly healthy for the playoffs. Which is more important? That's a tough one.
I think you have to really start to look at the team, Kevin, and the construct of veteran players versus young players. What kind of experience collectively have they had in the postseason? At some point, if you have a veteran team, the health of your team is most important. You always have faith that whatever you do on a nightly basis as a veteran team, that your game will travel. So I think teams lean on the side of health this time of year.
And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
A good balance and squared up shoulders. If there's one thing Green does better than anything else, it's nailing catch-and-shoot Jays.
The doctor passes to Cousins. Cousins with a screen for Allen. They get it back. That one drops for him.
Well, down on the offensive glass, Cousins is so powerful, and a great job there of reading the angle to collect one.
Leonard kicks to Parker. Good looking screen by Gasol. Here's the floater, and Parker with the layup.
A terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
It's Davis on the wing. Over to the wing. Pass to Cousins. Gasol with the steal. Parker outside. He kicks it to Leonard. Over Miller. And it's Leonard missing. The Pelicans trail. Miller inside. He's against Green. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Alvin Gentry has to be proud that the responsibilities of playing defense for their squad last year was something that they accepted. They went from a bottom 3 team to a top 10 team defensively just last season.
And the first one at the line is good. And with more talent, you think the Pelicans have a chance, Brent, to step their offense up this season?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think the amazing part about last year is that the Pelicans ended up sliding their way up into the top 10 defensively. That's an area where the likes of a team like the Denver Nuggets needs to make their improvement. Maybe between those two teams, they're battling to find their way into the postseason. Well, they depend on him to score, and that doesn't mean just from the field. Sometimes it comes from the charity stripe.
Parker kicks to Leonard over Miller, and it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Parker.
And sometimes it just doesn't matter how good the D is. Kawhi with the all-world ability to hit the jumper even when you got him blanketed.
Here's the doctor. He really played well in that last game against Charlotte. Allen passes to the doctor. Here's Cousins. Banked in off the glass. Cousins has got his second bucket.
The way that Cousins keeps that one in control, an amazing job how he fights through the contact, something he is very used to.
Feeds it to Parker. To the middle. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there. And that one, good.
And where's the help? Obviously a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
And that one drops for him. For San Antonio, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. Green kicks to Aldridge. He dishes it to Parker. Shot from 12. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Davis kicks to Miller. New Orleans moving it around. Pass to Cousins. Over in the corner, Allen. Now the pass to the dot. That misses off the backboard.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away.
Dishes to Miller and stolen by Aldridge. Parker outside. Leonard, that's for 2. The shot is good. And so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Pass to Cousins. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
Here's the proverbial easier said than done, Kevin. You got to tie up Cousins if you're going to foul him.
Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
And that one falls for Cousins.
You like the passion and energy that Cousins plays with. As long as it's in control, he goes hard at it every game.
Parker dishes to Leonard. Over Miller. And it's good off the back rim and in. That's now 8 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
The shot's good from the Doctor.
They are just killing them on the interior.
San Antonio leading to the inside. Aldridge. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. LaMarcus Aldridge standing 6'11", tall for the power forward position.
He's got the size advantage on most defenders and a devastating ability to shoot a turnaround jumper, especially over the left shoulder from the mid-range. So a great and capable scorer.
Shooting 2.
And he can't get the first one. And with these new player tracking cameras, you see some very interesting numbers. The Spurs, one of the lowest teams in terms of pace and fast break points. And yet they're one of the top teams, Brent, in average speed and distance travel. How do you explain that?
Well, what they do, Kevin, is every time down the court, they set up their offense and they run through their options. And that could be very frustrating for anybody who's trying to defend it. They're waiting within a 24-second shot clock to have 1 or 2 defenders relax, get lazy, and as soon as they do, the Spurs take advantage of it.
Now, here is Miller, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. To the left side wing. Just 5 on the clock. Here's the screen. Nice job coming off that screen. Allen's got his first basket.
Great awareness. No reason to take it inside there against the taller man.
Yeah, most analytics will tell you that the mid-range jumper is not an efficient shot, but you see how effective with guys like that it can be. You can see how clued in the defense is to take away those mid-range shots and challenge. solid at getting a hand up in the face of the scorers.
And that one's good by Davis.
That's an impossible shot to guard, Kevin. Davis got the ball and just rises up for the jumper there. The D has to be frustrated.
Now here's Leonard. 14 points from him the last game against Orlando. Double team on Parker. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And New Orleans gets called for the foul.
And Tony Parker in his prime, one of the best slashing point guards this league has ever seen. Just an outstanding finisher amidst the tall players. And one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint, a surefire Hall of Famer.
Free throw drops in for Tony Parker. And a bit of a down year for Tony Parker in 2017. His lowest three-point percentage in 5 years. Lowest free throw percentage in 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see him hitting threes at a higher clip. The previous couple seasons, he shot it up over 40%. And a great way, I think, to boost his offense, even though he has slowed down a bit.
And Parker drops them both. And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing. But still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
And the Spurs pushing it up now. Ginobili leading the charge. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got 10.
Well, his offense should come with a warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Here's the doctor. He's got 6. It's Hill, top the key. Kicks it to Cousins. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Here's Holiday. That one wide left. San Antonio leading by 4. Gay with it, outguarded by Wells. In the corner, it's Ginobili. Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. A second chance effort. And the rejection by Cousins.
How about Cousins with some gritty defense there, showing off his...
Oh!
Ouch!
And Wells has a lot of confidence in his dunking ability. Always fun to watch him take off and go towards the rim.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And with a percentage of 82, he's been one of their more dependable shooters from the line.
Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Parker. Rajon Rondo's checked in for New Orleans. The free throw drops for Wells. So, Brent, we often talk about role players who give 100% effort every minute they're on the floor. Which stars have the highest motors right now, in your opinion?
Wow, a lot of guys play with a lot of fire, Kevin. I'm thinking about Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, the workload that he has for the Toronto Raptors. Little guys like Kemba Walker and Isaiah Thomas. But maybe the 2 guys most prevalent, Chris Paul and then DeMarcus Cousins. And maybe that motor sometimes sputters a little bit, but the motor is still there.
You know what? Of all the qualities a player may have, and I don't even know if a motor or effort is a skill, it seems like it's becoming something that's rattled off very quickly by scouts and coaches. Yeah, he gives great effort. It's as if he's saying, yeah, he's got a great shot, or he's a terrific defender. They act like it's a skill.
Yeah, you think about it, Kevin, what that's doing is defining the fact that there are some guys in the league who don't do it. So when you have a guy who does it constantly, that's what makes him stand out. Credit to defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made him attempt a difficult layup.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Outside Rondo. Here's the dish to Cousins. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Well, Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Greg Popovich and I did speak a few minutes ago. The season series is tied at 1. He said the things that make this such a compelling matchup for the fans are the strategic elements and, of course, the big plays. But he also said we're facing a team that really knows how to execute on offense. We just don't see much sloppiness. A real tactical battle shaping up tonight, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks. So he wants their best effort defensively, knowing what a slick shooting team they're up against.
And I think they'd be smart to try to deny them the ball inside, guys. The best way to keep a team from getting hot is to not give them the easy looks down low.
Yeah, make sure there is no vacancies out there at the three-point line, Greg. This is a team that can really hurt you from all over the floor.
Now Gabe, after the missed three from Shammy Wells. Count it.
And doing their best to maximize possessions, just staying focused with this lead.
Well, it isn't much, but they've been able to capture some of the momentum of this game and increase their advantage.
Holiday with the three, and it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Holiday's got 6 points.
Really like the form from Drew Holiday there. He always looks to take those if the D is going to back up off him.
Gay with it, now guarded by Wells. Gay kicks to Laverne, and stolen by Cousins. And here's the fast break. Wells leading the way. Now on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
And you got to respect the strength of Wells. Terrific at powering through the foul and finishing on those hard shots.
Pelicans shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Here's Holiday after Rudy Gay's bucket. Floats one up. The shot will not fall.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Rondo kicks to Hill. No good. That would have tied it.
And that's a clean shot, too. You got to sink those. He must be disappointed that he blew that chance.
Pelicans trail by 3. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Outside Rondo. He feeds it to Wells. Fires the three. Nailed from three-point land. Wells has got his 3rd basket of the night.
And Wells knows how to drop it in from deep. Whenever he has a clean look from downtown, he's going to get it up immediately.
Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the San Antonio Spurs. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Right back after this break. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through the Spurs organization.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
Well, you just start to wonder, how did we get to this score at the end of one? I think those steals really established momentum in their favor.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Solomon Hill. Then there's Etuan Moore. And there's Wells. And it's Rondo in at the point. Pelicans trailed by 3. To the middle. And it's Hill. That time the assist by Cousins.
Hill burrowing inside, and because of his size, he's able to do that, get around the rim and finish.
Anderson kicks to Ginobili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Shot off the pick. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
He used that screen to perfection and got a wide open look to knock down the jumper.
Moore outside. Screen by Cousins, and it's Moore penetrating. Here's Wells. Off target from three-point range. Spurs leading by 3. Here's Ginobili. Makes it off the glass. Ginobili's got 5 points so far.
Still with the explosive first step, Ginobili gains an angle on the drive, and trust me, he knows them well.
Pick up by Hill. With the floater. Good. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Rondo. It's Anderson with the drive. Count it. And the Spurs lead by 5.
Anderson's inside game reminiscent of an old teammate of his, Boris Diaw, patient in the post around the rim.
Moore outside. The feed to Hill. Screen by Cousins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Brent, you were known for your leaping ability. You won a dunk contest. We all remember it very vividly. During the pre-draft process, did they measure your max vertical?
They did, Kevin. At the Chicago pre-draft camp, you run through a series of tests there. Your conditioning, how your CO2 gets kicked out. They put this mask on you and check your stamina. There's a bunch of doctors in there poking and prodding. I won't go into detail about that.
Thank you.
But they did measure the max vertical during that Chicago pre-draft, and it was about 39-inch vertical leap, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Laverne, and it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. New Orleans also making some changes. Davis is checked in for Cousins. Miller comes in for Wells. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
Hill's smart about taking quality shots. He can play either forward position. It's a nice bit of versatility for a coaching staff.
Now here's Mills. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Green, the pass to Aldridge. Just 5 to shoot. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Clark kicks to Miller. Moore outside. Miller outside. And again, New Orleans has no up. Spurs leading by 5. Gay in the corner for 3. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
Well, after getting off to a great start, hitting those first 2 shots, he's definitely regressed a little bit in this quarter.
It's good.
Yeah, not a good idea to leave him alone. He'll make you pay for that mid-range.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. Now here's Mills. He's guarded closely. Aldridge dishes to Mills. Baseline J on the way. Misses off the right iron. Looking at the last game for the New Orleans Pelicans, it was a win against the Charlotte Hornets.
And just looking at the stats, you can see, man, they were efficient on this night.
Yeah, the defense did nothing disruptive in the game, so good patience. It led to good shot selection, and then look at the excellent shooting percentage from the field.
And that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
A different look now for San Antonio. Pau Gasol's checked in for Kyle Anderson, and Kawhi Leonard subbed in for Rudy Gay. And a change for the Pelicans. The doctor's checked in for Hill. Here's the doctor. He's got 6. Pass to Davis. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
You can't slow AD down when he's hitting that shot.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, the doctor in the last game against the Hornets provided a very nice lift. He finished with 21 points and also grabbed 4 rebounds in addition to his scoring. His dominating performance gave the team exactly what it needed to end the losing streak. And I'm sure he'll be looking to lead him again tonight, Kevin.
Hey, David, thank you very much. What kind of carryover guys you think we'll see for him tonight?
Well, we know his confidence level has to be high coming into this game. Physically, he might be a little worn down, but mentally, he's got to be feeling very good.
That's an important part, GA. All players get run down physically, but such a great feeling when you're riding one of those emotional highs and a hot streak, which he is doing right now.
First free throw is good.
And you might have thought that with the big 3 retiring and getting older, the San Antonio Spurs might need to think about rebuilding, but the emergence of one Kawhi Leonard as a superstar in the league on both ends of the floor has extended this team's dominance.
Parker's checked in for the Spurs. And the Pelicans also making a change. Allen's checked in. Both free throws good from Gasol. And Tim Duncan retired, as we know, but Kawhi Leonard carrying on that culture of no frills. Brent, work and dedication to the game.
Well, there's no better standard bearer than what Kawhi Leonard has represented, but it's been built on the shoulders of Tim Duncan and David Robinson before him. Spurs continue to go about their business, respecting the game and getting the most out of the ability of the players on the floor. But aside from that possession, they've done a pretty good job of keeping the turnovers way down this game.
Pelicans trailed by 5. Here's the doctor. He's got 6. He kicks it to Clark. Davis, the pass to Miller. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Clark for 3. Great tee that time from Green. San Antonio leading by 5. Aldridge left side. Parker outside. Shoots from 12. Aldridge. Kicks it out to Leonard. There's the 3. Here's Aldridge. And sticking right with it. Gets the foul with the bucket. And he'll go to the line.
Love the follow-up. It's as if Aldridge knows where the shot's coming from and gets himself in great position on the glass.
And with the emergence of Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a secondary scorer in San Antonio. Brent, how do you like him in that role?
Well, I think that's where LaMarcus Aldridge really fits best, even in his time in Portland with the tremendous offensive output he had as one of the Blazers' greatest of all time. He's sometimes not leaned upon as being the primary scorer, even though that low block basically belongs to LaMarcus Aldridge.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Pelicans trail by 8. It's Allen on the wing. He's covered by Leonard. Allen kicks to Davis. Back to Allen. Davis sets a screen. The 11-footer. And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
A little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
Big difference between aggressiveness and awareness. There's no way he's getting that rebound right there.
Green dishes to Leonard. Feeds it to Parker. It's intercepted. And here they come. Tipped away. Parker with the steal. Here's Leonard. It's tipped. Leonard against Allen. Passes it to the Doctor. He dishes it to Miller. And the pass to Davis. Out to the right wing. Here's the Doctor. And Parker with the block. And he gets it back. Looking to end the drought. No good from the Doctor. Spurs leading by 8. It's Parker with the drive. And Davis sends it back.
Phenomenal defense by Anthony Davis to spike that shot back. He'd make a heck of a volleyball player.
5 on the clock. Second chance shot. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Leonard's got 12 points in the game.
He's a heady player. He knows how to get himself going and giving his team a real advantage right now on the offensive end.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, clearing off picks, you want the ball in his hand.
Check in for New Orleans. And here late in the season, a good time now to follow up on our Rookie of the Year race. Which young players have separated themselves as the best of the bunch? Take a look at the Doctor. Throughout the year, he's shown that he can be a big-time player in the league, and at number 5 on our list, you have to be excited for next season.
And being inside the top 5 of what is a wonderful rookie class is really quite an accomplishment in and of itself.
Might be too late for the big prize this year, you're right, GA, but he should be very proud of how he's performed all year long and look forward to the offseason.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Gasol, a screen on Allen. Here's Parker. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And what strength there by Parker. Be able to take the hit and still drain the shot in the process. He is just a remarkable athlete with tremendous finishing ability.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
The Pelicans making a switch here. Cousins is checked in. Free throw no good for Parker.
And the Pelicans might have the most formidable front court tandem in the NBA. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Some calling them Fire and Ice. Gee, I wonder who Fire is.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the Pelicans.
And they are going where the going is good for them right now. The painted area, high percentage and high volume shots.
Pelicans trail by 10. And the Pelicans, Brent, had flirted with small ball. How's the fit between Cousins and Davis?
Well, it does help out that both of these guys are so talented and capable of shooting the basketball as big men. But I think AD plays better off the ball and not really force feeding him. DeMarcus is just the opposite. He's got to have the ball in his hands to make plays. So we'll see how they end up working this thing out. They could still use some perimeter shooting because of the attention that these two big guys are going to draw on a nightly basis. And that is one thing he does very well. His intensity on the glass helps lead to these high percentage putbacks for his team.
Leonard kicks to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Shot off the pick. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Parker's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs. The doctor passes to Cousins. That doesn't go either for Cousins. San Antonio's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Goes up at the stripe. Here's Aldridge. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And let's review some numbers for the doctor. He's averaging 14 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's putting in the effort, and you can see him getting better with time.
So many little things that you have to learn to grow as a player. He's just going through a bit of that process right now.
First free throw is good. Brent, so many heady players, tough players, eventually become coaches. We've seen it time and again. And what kind of situation would it take, for instance, for you to get involved with that, either on the floor, on the bench, or in the front office?
I'll tell you right now, Kevin, I'm so thankful for my local YMCA because I've coached the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teams for the last few years.
Good for you.
I'm not getting paid for it, but I think I'm learning more there than I would in the league.
But you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it, and Kevin, I think basketball's been such a big part of my life that at some point I will love the opportunity to be involved with one of the 30 teams in the league in some capacity.
They get it back.
And Allen, just an incredible defender, has a grit and grind mentality and uses his speed and strong hands to just annoy offensive players.
First trip to the line for him here.
2 shots.
No good on that one. And Greg Popovich has led the Spurs to the playoffs in all 20 of the full seasons he's coached the team. But you know what, Brent? He always gives his players the credit.
Well, Pop knows that the players are the ones who deserve all of the accolades. But there's no doubt that there's an appreciation for the way that Pop continues to put his team and each member of the team into situations where they collectively can compete every year. And it's not about just competing for the playoffs, Kevin. I'm talking about competing for titles. What a run that Greg Popovich has been on.
Now here's Parker. 10 points for him. Dishes it to Aldridge. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Almost impossible to contain Aldridge on the pick and roll. As long as he makes that separation happen, he's going to knock it down.
Here's the doctor. He's got 8. A baseline J. Marcus Aldridge grabs the miss. Aldridge has got his 7th rebound here tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Holiday dishes to Allen. Cousins with a screen on Leonard. Pass to the doctor. Screen by Cousins. Allen against Leonard. The doctor. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. Gasol's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Now here is Aldridge. Out to Parker. There's the triple. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Miller outside. Puts it up. And that basket is in there from the doctor. The doctor's got 10 points in the game.
And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
Aldridge is screen. Parker kicks to Gasol. Outside Leonard. Pass to Aldridge. To the inside. Here's Parker. That's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Laverne, he's checked in for Pau Gasol. And then for New Orleans, Wells comes in for Tony Allen. Rajon Rondo subbed in for the Doctor. Shot clock at 3. Leonard with the bucket.
Well, he's making it look effortless. You combine Leonard's athleticism with his skill set and now that confidence. Nights like this are inevitable.
Now here's Wells. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Charlotte. That 3 off the mark.
Yeah, we're chipping some orange paint off the rim here, guys. He must be more patient on offense and trying to find ways to penetrate inside and get closer to the rim.
Rondo against Parker. 35 seconds left to play here in the half. Aldridge kicks to Laverne. Miller against Parker. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And here's Rondo. Kicks to Cousins. Over Laverne. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. It's been a clinic from Tony Parker.
And I just love how aggressive he is. Usually tries to work for the best shot that he can.
Well, we saw that in the first half, and he's constantly on the move and slipping behind the eyes of the defense to work closer to the rim.
Filling out the wings, it's Green and Leonard. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Parker in at the 1. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. And so much of what Cousins does on the court is unstoppable. But at times, Brent, his leadership is something that can get in the way.
Well, I wouldn't technically call that leadership, Kevin. There are times where DeMarcus Cousins detracts from what it is the ultimate goal of a team. In the early part of his career, created a bit of negativity around the atmosphere of what was going on. I think over the past couple years, he's been much better. He's got a new situation now and maybe a new lease on life.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Parker kicks to Leonard. Screened by Parker. The leaner. San Antonio with the new 24. The shot's good. Aldridge has got 14 points.
Well, they missed their first 3 shots, and after that maybe they'll get some air underneath their wings a little bit.
Here's the doctor, covered by Parker. Here's the doctor on the money from 12 feet away. He's got 12. San Antonio leading by 17. Green, the screen. Parker kicks to Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 8th assist in the game. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. The dish now to Cousins. He feeds it to Davis. Over Aldridge. And Davis can't get it to go.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And that one's good. Parker.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And Kawhi Leonard, just the 2nd perimeter player in league history to win back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards.
And he joined, of course, the great Milwaukee Buck Sidney Moncrief in doing that, and it's an award that we know usually goes to a big man who's down there protecting the rim and shoring up any defense. Kawhi Leonard does it everywhere on the floor, and it's amazing to watch opposing offenses try to strategize against where it is Kawhi Leonard might be defensively.
That's good from Parker.
And Parker just so skilled at marching his way to the stripe. He just has an endless amount of cunning moves that consistently frustrate the opposition.
Now here's Allen. He averages about 5 points a game. Here's the doctor. And he can't bank that one in. Spurs leading by 22. Over in the corner, Green. Stolen by Allen. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Here's the doctor. Takes it off the glass. The doctor's got 14 points for the game. Here is Parker. 19 points in the game. There's the feed to Aldridge. Over Miller. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And getting a hand in the shooter's face, locking down that in-between area.
Just taking on the challenge on every possession. I love defenders who give nothing away. He's so good at picking his spots. He always knows exactly what the team needs from him offensively. That's why they hold the lead.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
The passing of the torch in San Antonio is one of the more remarkable things about the NBA. And just as one superstar decides to retire, another one steps up and emerges as one of the best players in the league. That is Kawhi Leonard, becoming the franchise player.
Look now for San Antonio. Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. Ian Clark's checked in for New Orleans. And to see how far Kawhi Leonard has come as a player from his days at San Diego State to where he is now, Brent, a testament to his work ethic and the player development staff, certainly of the Spurs.
Well, Chip England is the shooting coach in San Antonio, has worked diligently with Kawhi Leonard, even to the point where Chip gets tired that Kawhi calls him up so much. Kawhi Leonard just wants to be the best player he can possibly be and maximize that potential. Any coaching staff would be proud of a player like that.
Green passes to Gay. Over Moore. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Pelicans trailed by 20. Clark kicks to Moore. Screen by Cousins. Moore with it. Gay picks him up defensively. To the wing on the left. 6 to shoot. The doctor. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
How about the Spurs clinching their 20th straight playoff appearance last season? An amazing run, more than twice as long as the next active streak, and the longest streak in the league was the Sixers from 1950 to 1971. I think the Spurs are going to get past them.
That's good from the doctor. And Greg Popovich tied for the longest streak of consecutive playoff appearances by a head coach.
Well, how about 18 straight 50-win seasons for Pop? Just a remarkable run of tremendous success where you could look at maybe 5 or 6 other opportunities where the San Antonio Spurs could have won another NBA title. You realize young DeJounte Murray was still in diapers the last time that they won less.
Spurs leading by 18. Mills dishes to Green. The tray, and again it's the Spurs from deep.
This is some of what he does best. Mills can shoot from downtown.
The Pelicans have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Feeds to Moore, stolen by Gay. And Green with the basket on the assist by Mills. Mills has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And it's Clark in the corner. Inside from 11 feet away, and that one good. And that's 17 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
Now here's Mills. 7 points in the game. Nobody near Gay. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
Well, this is something he's working on. A good natural leader from the point guard position wants to help out by becoming a better facilitator.
There's the pick. Passes it to Miller. To the left wing. Here's Clark. Rebound San Antonio. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
Yeah, and some of that loss was due to a lack of hustle, especially on the defensive end.
And there are games where an opponent gets aggressive. You got to raise your level of play. They failed to do that in this one.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Stolen by Anderson. And again, San Antonio running the court in transition. Pull-up jumper. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Anderson has great vision as a point forward. Exceptional court awareness.
Here's the doctor. 16 points for him. And it's Miller in the corner. And it's Clark in the corner. Screen by Cousins. Shot clock at 5. Mills with the steal. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And the transition D right now, just non-existent.
And that replay presented by Under Armour showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment. Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
Well, the Spurs system hasn't changed through the years, but certainly some things being more emphasized than others. You had the post attack, certainly with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and then it shifted to the drive and kick style with Manu and Tony Parker. And now they're back to playing the mid-range game with Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Checked in for the Spurs. Ginobili comes in for Green. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Hill, he's checked in for Miller. Wells comes in for E'Twaun Moore. Drew Holiday's checked in for Ian Clark. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for the doctor. Now here's Cousins. He's got 17. He kicks it to Rondo. Screen by Cousins. Rondo passes to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
You know, I don't know how much more we can laud the play of DeMarcus Cousins, but he's on a roll like this. He is something to watch.
And in the past, there's been a distaste for isolation basketball in the Spurs organization. But we're seeing more iso ball running through Kawhi and Aldridge.
Well, they do a great job of passing out of the post, and mainly that's the reason why they use it. Force teams to come down as the ball gets closer to the rim and commit several defenders, and then the spacing takes over on the weak side. So they still utilize a pass-first style, and the isolation kind of sets up opportunities on the weak side.
A shot by Wells, no good.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And Mills kicks to Laverne. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Rondo. Shot's good by Mills. Mills has got 9 points now in the quarter.
Well, he hasn't missed yet, guys, and the defense is scrambling for answers to stop this hot start.
Hill against Anderson. Hill dishes to Rondo. And Holiday has it in the corner. Pelicans keep it alive.
And they get it back again. I mean, how many rebounds offensively have they had? Everything's going right for them today.
Now here is Hill. He has 6. Outside Holiday. Wells in the corner. Puts up a 3. The shot comes out, and it's the Spurs taking it the other way.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now, a bit out of rhythm.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
Yeah, it seems like they've been at it on both ends tonight. Tremendous all-around play from them, has them up quite a bit here.
Anthony Davis is checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. And from the day that Anthony Davis was drafted, New Orleans had a win-now mindset.
Well, that's what the decree from the upper management was, and maybe a little bit unfair to put that kind of pressure on such a young superstar talent who wanted to find his way in the NBA. The front office focused on making some trades and surrounding him right away without understanding exactly what Anthony Davis was going to be good at. Let's face it, he's still great, and there's still that opportunity for AD. This is the kind of guy that you wake up in a cold sweat the night before you play him. Just a matchup nightmare. Tricky, confident, and he takes on all comers.
Now here's Gay. 13 points in the game. A 3 from Anderson. Buries it from three-point range. Anderson's got 6 here in this quarter.
That's a pretty good look from Kyle Anderson. Good form as he squares up and knocks down one from the perimeter.
And Davis puts it in.
Yeah, so reliable. He clearly needs to be more involved in the offense as they try to shrink this lead.
And Mills kicks to Ginobili. The pass to Gay. Looking for Anderson. He gets it there. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Tough to match up with Kyle Anderson because of how quirky he plays. Changing speeds, plays slow, but sees the floor remarkably well.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line.
Did he lay an egg at the stripe in their previous game? Couldn't get anything to drop.
Free throw, good, Anderson. The doctors checked in for Rajon Rondo. And both free throws good for Anderson.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
The doctor passes to Holiday. Here's the doctor. They get the rebound. Gay with the block.
And got to respect those long arms of Gay. I mean, superb at swatting shots away with those big hands.
They get it back. And there's the call on Shammy Wells. That is his first foul of the game. Kawhi Leonard, he's checked in for San Antonio.
Kawhi Leonard.
There's a minute 47 left to play in the third. Ginobili dishes to Gay. And the three off target. New Orleans has gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Pass to Davis. Davis sets a screen. And Holiday kicks to Davis. Leonard with the steal. Gay outside. He dishes it to Leonard. It's Ginobili outside. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. The doctor passes to Davis, and Davis throws it down.
A terrific flush from Anthony Davis there. When he's given room to fly like that, he's going to take off.
Ginobili kicks to Mills. Dishes it to Leonard. Three-pointer, and again, it's the Spurs from deep.
And the D has gotten a little bit laxed here defending the triple.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting 43% from the field. Pulls up on the elbow, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level.
Lays it up and banks it in. Leonard's got 16 points.
High percentage look for Kawhi there. He's developed such good touch inside. That one's automatic.
Here's the doctor, covered by Mills. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
That's his first personal foul.
For New Orleans, they have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
The doctor. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
That one is off. Both teams deciding to change it up. And he sinks the second. So it's San Antonio now. There's Parker with the 3. Missed. And so it's San Antonio sitting at a lead of 40 points at the end of the quarter. Terrific play. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. We'll return shortly. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Forget about the score and let's compete. Just compete. That's all. Not that hard to do now.
Without worrying about what's led up to this point, Alvin Gentry trying to refocus his players' efforts.
Yeah, I mean, dwelling on the point differential at this point isn't going to fix anything. But all 5 guys giving maximum effort, that might be a cure-all for a whole lot.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the court for the Pelicans, getting the fourth quarter going. Hill and Davis are the forwards. Doctor out there with Allen, and it's Ajinça in at the 5 down low.
Well, at a time when threes and dunks are the toast of the league, Leonard showing that strong mid-range game can be just as valuable. That's just smart basketball. Ideally, you love for all of your shots to come from that spot. When Anthony Davis came into the NBA, you started to think about how he could dominate on the post, but it's really the growth in him as a shooter to stretch it out, shoot three-point shots that really has opened up some eyes.
White, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili.
One shot.
And Davis changed his whole shooting form in New Orleans. He used to shoot from his chest. It blocked his view of the basket.
That's never a good thing. That's your target. So shifting it over on the right side, more towards the shoulder, raising up so that he's got a more clear shooting window. That takes a lot of diligent work, Kevin, and a lot of players try their whole career to fix a shot that's failed. I think AD has done a good job of not only committing to it, but finding success with the new form.
Here's the doctor, Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Here's the doctor, laid in with a nice touch off the glass. The doctor's got 9 points here in the second half.
Beautiful timing, execution, great move to the rack.
They set the pick. And White kicks to Leonard. Over Hill, Kawhi Leonard again. Leonard's got 22.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around him.
And that's a foul called in the doctor. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
New Orleans making some changes here. Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Anthony Davis. And Ian Clark subbed in for Allen. Now here's Parker. And Brent, every year on average, it seems like players get a little taller. They can jump a little higher. They run a little faster. What are your thoughts about raising the rim above 10 feet where it stands now?
That's a great question, Kevin. I don't think that that's happening anytime soon, but
you I can see you shaking your head and you kind of laughed at it.
I just can't see it
happening. The game is hard enough as it is right now, right? Is that what you're saying?
It is. I like your idea about making the court a little bit bigger, but 10 feet seems to be a pretty good number for where that tin sits.
About right, huh?
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
No doubt. His success converting around the rim is largely due to the one thing he does better than most, and that is fly.
Here's Parker. The Pelicans make their last shot. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. For New Orleans, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Here's the doctor, covered by Parker. And the shot is good. And that's 21 points for the doctor.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Over at Jinsa, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. 23 points for Tony Parker.
And he's a hard guy to get around. Aldridge setting a sizable screen and knows the angle to spring open the teammate.
Clark, the pass to the doctor. The 10-footer. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Leonard with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Pass to Aldridge. Kicks it to White. 5 to shoot. Aldridge a screen. Lets it go from the wing. White, good.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
The doctor passes to Clark. A Brent, for college players who decide to stay in school for their junior and senior years, in some cases it's been hurting their draft stock. Sometimes it helps. Can you talk about why we see a difference in the two?
I think what happens, Kevin, is that in any given collegiate season, that next year, there's another opportunity for a brand new crop of players, maybe not the star guys that are going into college as freshmen, but guys who just played their freshman year or in their sophomore season take their next step. And so guys who are juniors and seniors might be looked at as not advancing fast enough or not as much potential, with guys a year behind them being better players.
That free throw, no good.
It felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
And the second free throw, good. Brent, it is an era of shorter player contracts, sometimes with opt-outs after 1 or 2 years. Does that breed too much of a win-now mentality among teams?
So shorter contracts, Kevin, but taller players?
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Okay, all right. You know, it's interesting the way that teams want to set themselves up. Obviously, if you have a bona fide star, you want to do what you can to lock him up and have him as part of your organization and the concrete and the foundation for what you do moving forward. But a lot of guys certainly on the move and on loan for seasons where they want to take a shot at the true contenders.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. And they always attempt to wear you out.
For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. Aldridge's screen. Brent, we know the regular season is a grind. We also know that revenue is king. Could you imagine a time when we'd actually have to play more than 82 games?
That's interesting, Kevin, because a lot of the times the argument you've heard over the course of the past 5 or 6 seasons, Kevin, is the opposite of that 65-game schedule. Why not reduce the schedule? Stars playing in every game, less back-to-backs, more time for recovery. So the idea of 82 games being extended beyond that, I don't think that that's in the realm of possibility.
65, 68 games, and they had that shortened season a couple years ago. It was terrific to watch.
It was, and so we'll see if the league does that. But in your question alone, Kevin, you said it. Cash is king. 82 is the number we're going to settle in, I think, for quite some time.
Count that as his 7th field goal in 10 tries. He's shooting a very good 70%.
Yeah, it's been about the fast break. Been real kind to him here early, and they are clicking in transition.
Here's Clark. Out left to the wing. Here's the doctor. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
And here are the Pelicans now, following the bucket by the Spurs. That one, no good.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
And Aldridge slams it in.
So he's got touch, he's got size, and he's got skill. Aldridge, an elite machine, scoring the ball.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
No good from the doctor.
Yeah, it just seems whatever they do, nothing's working right now to stop the bleeding.
I still think there's a chance you string a couple of big plays together and the tide can turn very quickly.
For New Orleans, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%.
Hill taking no time to get that shot off. Once it hit his hands, it was off.
Now White. The dish now to Aldridge. Over at Jinsa. No good off the front iron. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. No good from Clark. San Antonio's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Wasted no time on that one. White's got 11 points in the quarter.
Are we sure that's the same player, guys? He looks completely different. What confidence he's playing with, and look how engaged he is on both ends.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. If you ever did decide to go into coaching, Brent, would you also like to be the general manager to ensure you have the players do you really want to coach?
Well, I'd also like a new car and a Learjet, Kevin. If I could get those two, I'll try my best. But
I hear you. I know.
I really think that relegating that role to somebody else that you can be on the same page with is the best way to go. It's a fresh set of eyes.
That's the key. I totally agree.
Fresh set of eyes, and they have the time to devote to what your team and your roster is going to need, while you make sure you're developing the roster yourself. So I think having a general manager do his job and a coach do his job might be the way that I would prefer to do things, although we've seen other guys have success in both roles.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne, he's checked in for Aldridge. Kyle Anderson comes in for Davis Bertans. And Tony Parker subbed in for White. And a change for the Pelicans. Allen's checked in for Ejuan Moore. He hits both from the stripe. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Parker outside. Floats one up, and he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
New Orleans making a switch here. Wells is checked in.
First personal foul, 2 seconds.
Hey, Brent, we've seen Hall of Fame players become coaches, but often it seems like the smart role player, they sustain more success in that role of head coach. Why is that?
I think, Kevin, a lot of times the role player is a conduit between both ends of the spectrum of your team. He can communicate with the star player. He can also talk to the guy who's the 12th man on the bench and make sure that both of them are getting what it is that they need to be in the best position to succeed. That's why you see a lot of players in that middle ground who do a great job of becoming NBA coaches as they understand the role of each.
And the work ethic, too, because for role players, maybe it hasn't come as easy. Whereas for a superstar, it was too easy.
That's true, Kevin. And how much work do you have to do with the most talented player on your team? It's pretty specific what his role is going to be. I think a role player who ends up being a coach understands the work dynamic of the rest of the team surrounding that player to create a great positive environment around your star.
No good from Gasol.
And they still need to step up just a little bit. They have the lead, but he needs to find himself out there.
Rebounded by the Spurs.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
Now here's Parker. After the miss from Shammy Wells.
Yeah, the mid-range jump shot is just automatic from Parker, especially when he gets the room to fire.
Here's the doctor. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. Brent, the NBA has a new CBA, now a collective bargaining agreement. How big a win is this for everyone involved?
I don't think the league has been in a better situation than it is right now, Kevin. And for the fact that labor discussions all took place behind closed doors without anything sneaking out underneath them, I think it was great for the league. It's been great for Adam Silver. It's been great for the Players Association. So it's nice to see the train keep rolling.
Anderson the screen. They set the screen. Parker kicks to Laverne. Back to Parker. 6 to shoot. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And Parker, terrific at drawing the foul there. He's as good as anybody at initiating the contact.
Shooting for San Antonio, Tony Parker. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Parker. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. And we're seeing more athletes use cross-training to improve their strength and conditioning. Back in the day, did you play any sports outside of basketball to improve your results?
Kevin, if I asked you if surfing helped my basketball, would you say yes?
Well, in your regard, I would say yes. It did help balance, right?
Yes.
What about that?
Hey, I should have surfed a lot more then, Kevin.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for San Antonio.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so taking a look at their season record, this will be win number 31 on the year.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Parker.
He came in with a focus and brought that dominant performance to the defense all night long, controlling the pace of the game and was firing on all cylinders.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. He's off on the second.
He needed to convert on all of those. Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now.
There's a screen. Can't make good off the pick. Allen dishes to Hill. And there's the call on Ginobili. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
At the line of the bonus, Solomon Hill. Taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. San Antonio making a switch here. White's checked in. Both free throws good from Hill. Here's White. 29 seconds left in the fourth. Ginobili outside. Green, the screen. Ginobili outside. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
And they've earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance.
When you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
refs were horrible tonight.
Right? Every night is something different. Them refs must be dehydrated.
Just don't be saying all that at the press conference or you'll be paying for it.
You right.
You ain't never lied, Shammy.
I know, I got fined so many times.